Hey, Steve Magnante here at High-Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with a full-sized Ford 1963.5 Galaxie fastback, or a sports roof, if you will. With that said, this is a full-size car, body on frame, and these cars are very competitive in NASCAR super speedway drag or road racing and stock car circuit racing. Major winners on the oval tracks at Daytona, Darlington, places like that. And again, a very special vehicle. We'll get to that in a second about the body on this thing. The roof line is very unique. 63.5 is when they introduced this back, called the scat roof, or scat back, I should say. But in the meantime, let's poke around up at the front half of the car and see what we can discover. Of course, we see Galaxie 500, which is the top level on the Galaxie model. It began at the Ford Custom 300, which was the base car, 6-cylinder powered generally, but this is the Galaxie 500. And again, that meant more trim, more luxury, a nicer interior. And of course, we see some aftermarket Day 2 stuff. Keystone Classic chrome wheels, front and rear, which is a great Day 2 addition. Of course, 390 emblems on the front, which is a classic Ford motor, the FE Ford, great legacy of high performance. And I love the hoods on these cars too. They're wide, expansive, and huge. They're made of steel, although a small run of a fiberglass hood and aluminum bumper cars were built in 1963.5, the Ford lightweight special cars. But this is a regular road-going car. There's lots to love. Let's poke under the hood. And speaking of the hood, here's how we open it. We go to the emblem at the center right here, pull up on it, and that is your primary hood release. The latch, the secondary latch is inside of the hood in here, and up it goes to reveal the 390 beneath. And there it is right there. Now this engine could be had as a 427, a 390, or a 352. This is the 390 we see here with a 4-barrel Holley carburetor, aluminum aftermarket intake from Edelbrock. Cast iron exhaust manifolds mean it's nice and quiet. There's going to be no leaks of headers, so you can cruise with this one. Nice big radiator, power steering, nice touch when you have an iron big lock under the hood for 3-point turns, makes them much easier. The power steering unit is factory stuff. And again, manual drum brakes. Speaking of brakes and drum brakes, this has 11-inch drums all the way around, which are standard fare. Disc would not arrive on full-size Fords until 1965. But that said, these big 11-inch drums are fine for daily use and a little bit of, fun driving. They'll slow you down just fine. Now, possible transmissions with these were 3-speed manuals, 4-speed manuals, or automatics. Let's go around to the side of the car and take a peek inside and find out which transmission is under the floor. And as we make our way inside, we see the beautiful interior, nicely restored. And there we have it. It's got a bench seat, which is great if you have a family and you want to go riding around with your loved one. 3 people across in the front, 3 in the back. So again, it's a full-sized Ford. Once again, body on frame, unlike the smaller Fords, which are unit construction, like the Fairlanes, the Mustangs, etc. But this is full-size body on Ford, or body on frame construction, and a huge interior with this car. Now we see the column shifted automatic. So this has the Cruise-O-Matic 3-speed automatic, which makes driving more leisurely than it would be with a manual stick shift column. With that said, here's the roof right here. This was introduced in 63.5, theoretically more aerodynamic for NASCAR use at Daytona, but also more attractive. And it's called the scat roof. No relation to the scat pack from Dodge, which would arrive in 1968. No relationship whatsoever. But interesting detail right here. It's made of steel, but it kind of emulates the look of a convertible top bow pressed into the metal. Kind of has the vibe of a convertible, but it's, of course, it's a metal roof. And again, the scat roof right here was seen in 1963.5, and then from there onward. And here we have is a nice magazine from 1963, Autosports, a magazine from 1963, August of 63, right here, with the new Fords. And inside of here we see the Mercury version of the Ford scat roof, and that's the S55 Mercury. And again, we see the same roof panel stamping on the Mercury, previewed in here. And I love old magazines because they can sort of bring you up to speed then and now going forward together. Now, being a full-sized Ford, it has what Mike Joy would call a commodious trunk. Let's take a peek inside. And before we get to that, as the hood release was interesting and built into the grille, the gas filler is right here in the deck. And here it is, hides right behind the trim. Oop, there it is. Oop, come on out. There we go. Right there. So that's basically kind of nice. It's a detailed touch which hides in plain sight. It's functional. And of course, dual exhaust on the 390. Nice touch. Good for performance. And a nice growl at idle and wide open. And there it is. Now, if you're used to a Ford Mustang or a Ford Falcon or even a Fairlane, which is a much smaller trunk, the full-size Galaxies have what you would call a huge trunk. There's enough room in there for, you know, a whole, probably a month's worth of groceries, to be honest. And again, body-on-frame construction, so a very solid vehicle, well built, and a nice, you know, daily user kind of a restoration, light restoration, but again, fully functional. This is the kind of car you enjoy to run and drive. Like I say, you own it, it doesn't own you. Whereas a 427, you know, side oiler car would be something you wouldn't want to drive that hard. But this is something you drive and enjoy with the 390 and the automatic. Now, to learn more about this car, go to the High-Octane Classics website and check out the photo gallery.